Hello and welcome back to Toronto FC Fan TV. And Toronto FC have announced that Bob Bradley is the new coach and sporting director of Toronto Football Club. Javier Perez obviously will not be continuing next season. I don't think he was a particularly bad coach, but obviously he's clearly not the man to keep going and turn things around for us. I think he may help us to avoid last place this season, but it's pretty clear that, especially with the option of Bob Bradley to sign him, to go for that opportunity and move on. So of course, I like this hire. The signing of Bob Bradley, unlike the Chris Armas hire, Bradley is an actually proven coach. He won the MLS Cup with the Chicago Fire in the early days of the MLS, and even recently in 2019, he led LAFC to a record-breaking 72 points and a Supporter Shield triumph. At the time, those was the record. And he made it to the Champions League final in 2020. So yeah, he's an excellent coach, and I'm excited to see what he can do this season. I don't expect us to win the quadruple, the treble. I don't expect us to go win the MLS Cup and win every trophy in front of us and go perfect 34-0 this season. But depending on the signings, if we can get the right signings in, the right DPs, and just fix our team overall, I definitely think there's a playoff run there. And honestly, Canadian Championship is always up for grabs. And so, honestly, I'm excited to see what he can do this season. Don't put too high of expectations for him, but I definitely can see this is a good first step in the rebuild, and I think Bob Bradley, the signing of him, is an important first step to the rebuild of Toronto Football Club. In other news, Alec Curtis has formally agreed to part ways with Toronto Football Club. A mutual discussion between both club and person, and they've agreed to part ways. Thank goodness. He can go back to his family or whatever he wants to do, but thank goodness this man has left trash signings, trash appointments, and just had a stranglehold on our club. Just killing us slightly. And nobody seemed to care for too long, and finally he left. I kind of wish we fired him. Well, maybe we did, and this is just a way to cover it up. But it is just pure good news to see that he has left. He appointed Chris Armas, that we all know was an absolutely shambolic signing. One of the worst coaches in Toronto Football Club history. He won one game. I think he had 5 points in 12 games or something like that. So absolutely perfect. To start this rebuild, to bring in Bradley is a smart move, but getting rid of Curtis had to be the priority to start a rebuild at this club. So yeah, he is gone, and it doesn't look like we're going to be signing another general manager. Looks like this responsibility is going to be going on Bradley. He's the sporting director. He'll be able to make his signings that he wants to. And I think I always prefer it when the coach does have that authority, because he's the one who's going to be having the team play how he wants to do it, to allow him to bring the players that he wants. So also, Jozy Altidore has also formally agreed to part ways with Toronto FC. His contract is out, and he's going to be leaving the club in the winter. From when we signed him to 2019, he was a really good player, scoring 10 plus goals every season, but 2020 and 2021 he's been plagued by injuries, and he's not been performing even when he does play. I think he has 4 or 5 goals in those 2 combined seasons with 30 games. So honestly, I can't say I'm upset to see him leave. I'm more so upset to see how we kept him for too long. As a designated player, he was not producing like he should, and he's just taking up that spot that we needed so desperately for another forward. Maybe Akinola can take his shoes, but I do think we desperately need a center back for that DP. But yes, Jozy Altidore is leaving the club. So yeah, just to recap, Bob Bradley is the new coach of Toronto FC. We have Alec Curtis has left, and star Jozy Altidore is leaving the club. Anyways, this has been Toronto FC Fan TV, and see ya.